Mysterious case unfolding in Oklahoma tonight. A 911 call coming in overnight, no voice heard on it. The first sign that something was very wrong. 5 family members were then discovered dead in their home, a mother and father and some of their children, but 2 of their teenage sons tonight under arrest.
It's the most shocking of crimes when seemingly everyday people savagely and explicitly kill their own relatives. We find family annihilation too horrific, too cruel to grasp, so explain it away as random acts of lunacy. Yet mental illness is just one of 3 categories that individuals who commit familicide fall into. The severely mentally ill may develop a delusion about their relatives, believing they are of the devil or possessed by the devil. They may even think they are saving their parent or sibling by murdering them. These people are often in the throes of a severe psychotic episode when they kill, experiencing severe delusions or hallucinations. The second and most common category is the severely abused. This is the most common type of offender, often an adolescent who commits patricide as a way of ending a cycle of abuse that has lasted many years. They have often reached out to others for help or sought other means to end the violence, to no avail. Feeling powerless and overwhelmed, these adolescents kill their parents as a last resort. PTSD and depression are noticeably common in these cases. The third and least common of the 3 groups are known as the dangerously antisocial. These individuals kill their relatives because they see them as an obstacle to a goal or desire, such as money, freedom from rules, or fame. Typically, these adolescents exhibit antisocial characteristics, such as harming animals and destroying property in early childhood. They may be diagnosed with or exhibit traits of oppositional defiant disorder or antisocial personality disorder, making them much more likely than those in the first 2 categories to reoffend. In the case of the Bever family, the 2 eldest brothers carried out a familicide of shocking proportions. Termed the Broken Arrow Killings, Michael and Robert Bever brutally murdered all but 2 members of their family in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma on July 22nd of 2015. Michael was one of the first to be interrogated and delivered one of the most shocking and graphic confessions ever to be released into the public domain. By cause of the suspect's severe speech impediment, police detective Eric Benz was purposefully chosen to lead the interrogation due to his former profession as a linguistic specialist in the U.S. Marine Special Operations Command.
So like I told you when I met you at the jail, my name's Eric. I'm a detective here with Broken Arrow Police. Like she told you her name's Rihanna, she's a detective also. We just want to spend some time and maybe talk and discuss some things and maybe ask you some questions, let you ask us some questions and make sure we're all comfortable with what's going on, and then we'll go from there. That sounds good? Okay, man, I'm just kind of got thrown into this, so I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened, because I need kind of the details so we know and understand what you went through and stuff.
Okay, like the very start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Is when we first really started talking.
So when you say we, who are you talking about?
Me and my other brother who's also.
Your brother?
Yeah, who's he has to do with me.
And what's his name?
Robert Bever.
Robert? Okay. And how old is he?
18.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
A couple months ago, I think back to the start of this year, we started talking about voodoo and rampage and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying like a body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, legal.
Does he have a job?
He did at Mike Tech. He quit at the start of the year. And basically, it just kept escalating. He kept getting burned, and he asked if I wanted any, and I said yes. So he got me my own set.
Oh, okay.
And then about a month, about like June 30th, is when he came to me and said he found out that he can legally buy guns without permit in Oklahoma. That he could.
Okay.
And that's when he started planning. And
did you? Now you said he bought body armor, but you kind of said like a bunch of stuff. Did he buy? What else did he buy besides body armor?
Besides body armor, knives, and he was in the middle of buying guns and ammunition.
I see. Okay. Where did he buy the knives from?
eBay too.
Okay. The guns. Where did he start buying guns from?
He bought them online. I think the website's like Bud's Gun Shop, and he bought two Glock 41s, and a shotgun. I forget, it's like a Mossberg, I think. And then he bought, I think it was like 250 shotgun rounds.
Okay.
And then I think he bought close to 1,000 rounds for the Glocks.
Wow, okay. So he was buying weapons because you guys had talked about murdering.
Yeah, and he started planning it.
Okay.
And I went along with it because I didn't see the other way. I thought I wouldn't want to do it. I very quickly learned tonight that I didn't.
Okay, that you didn't want to do it?
I don't want to do it. I didn't, just because I didn't kill anyone.
Okay.
I stabbed someone.
Who did you stab?
My younger brother, Christopher.
Christopher. How old's Christopher?
9, I think.
What'd you stab him with?
My knife.
How big is it? Show me how big it is.
I think it's about this big.
Okay.
Mandible.
So what was Christopher doing when you stabbed him?
He was laying on the bathroom floor. Robert was also stabbing him. Robert asked me to go over and help him. So I stabbed Christopher and then,
Where did you stab him?
stabbed him in the neck.
Really? Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
You okay? Let me know if you need a break or anything, okay?
I'm good.
So was Christopher still alive when you stabbed him?
Yes.
What was he saying and doing?
He was just screaming.
Screaming. Did you say he was in the bathroom?
Yeah, he was next to the toilet, with that bathroom.
Who else was in the bathroom?
I think Victoria might have been in there. About
Victoria?
Yeah, my 4-year-old sister.
4-year-old, okay. I wanna talk about that more, but we gotta try to kinda stay like chronologically, if you know what I mean. So let's go back real quick. We talked about the ammunition being delivered, making plans. Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we plotted every night.
Did you guys make drawings or write things down,
I
or
think he had a journal. He basically writing his ideas down. I think it's under his bed.
under his
I
bed?
haven't checked out.
Is it like a
Like
a journal, like a notepad, or like a book?
It's like a blank book.
Why did he wanna do it?
To kill people.
Yeah.
Well, mainly 2 reasons. I think it's because he just he says he hates everyone. He thinks society is pointless, and so he
Okay.
wanted to kill people.
Now, do
And
you-
also he wanted to beat the kill amount of other famous people like Columbine and James Egan Holmes.
Okay. Did you kind of feel that way too, like when you guys were talking earlier, like,
Yeah,
do you have a problem with society too, you think?
no, I just
Or you were just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and
I wanted
exciting?
Yeah.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted. I think he wanted to kill like 50.
Okay.
I have a goal.
So so as the planning goes, tell me what plans you started making and coming up with.
So we wanted to kill everyone at the house first.
Okay.
And then wait for all the packages to show up over the weekend. And then we take the Yukon and we drive out of state with the guns and start
Okay.
killing, rampaging.
So was the plan, to use the knives at first on the family?
Here's the next one.
Cause the guns weren't gonna be here till later on?
Yeah, and the guns would be too loud.
Oh, I see. So then you picked a date, you said?
Yeah, which was yesterday night. That was the date.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yep, yeah, midnight when most everyone was in bed except for Mom.
So how did you guys know? He just came and got you, or you got him, or what'd you guys do?
We were hanging out in the bedroom waiting.
Do you guys not like your mom and dad? I mean, most teenagers don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, Mom was okay, but Dad was a little bit,
Just a little bit too much.
Yes.
So, you guys waiting in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and was it right when midnight, and that's when things started?
Right at midnight, my sister, she came in, because she was getting into her bed, she came in to tell us.
How old is?
13.
Okay.
She came in to tell us that Mom wanted us to get the kitchen done before we went to bed and put the cats up. And basically, we did what we planned. I got to my desk, and I had to look at something to just get to her. Robert went up behind her, grabbed her, and slit her throat.
Really? What did he use?
His large red knife. And then she fell to the ground screaming. Mom and Dad, Mom came in first, and then she was
Is
in
your
the
room
hall.
upstairs or side? I don't know, I haven't been to your house, so I don't know.
Her room is downstairs. It's towards the back of the
Okay.
house.
And so she fell down and started screaming.
Yeah, well, I kept stabbing her. I kind of freaked out because,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning on
Were you
this.
saying anything, or, I mean?
I just stood there.
Okay.
And then Mom came in yelling, call the police. And then he went over and stabbed her.
Then he stabbed her?
Yeah, he probably was stabbing her, pushed her, further down the hallway, and got up and ran.
Okay.
She ran out the door, and once Mom was on the ground, he got up and started chasing after her.
And what were you doing? Did you
Standing.
come out in the hallway?
No, I was just standing in my room, in the process. I don't know what I was doing.
So where did she,
She was laying in the driveway, and he took her back from, the bench, front yard, and started choking her.
Like
His
on the
face.
bench out
Yeah.
front?
Yeah, it was like a little bench, and he threw the bench on her and went back inside to go after the little kids. And then that's about the time Dad came down,
Okay.
because his bedroom's upstairs, and he went back in the boys' area where Robert was. The boys' area, that's what they call it, Aru. And they started attacking Dad. They got a little bit of a fight, but then eventually Robert got him down, and I think he killed him.
Did he cut his throat too? Where did that happen?
In our room.
In your room?
Yeah.
And, where were you?
I was standing in the hallway.
Okay.
And then he went in, and Daniel was in his room, which is down the hall. And I was like, let me.
How old's Daniel?
I think he's 12.
Okay.
And I was like, let me in, and he let me in. He was sitting down on the phone with the police. I grabbed the phone, which is my phone, got my phone. And then I ran into the kitchen and I smashed the underground.
Which was your phone?
Yeah, it was my phone.
Now you don't have a cell phone anymore.
And then I went back down, and and Daniel and Christopher locked himself in the bathroom, Daniel locked himself in Dad's office.
Okay.
And then I finally got both of them to open the door, because they thought I wanted in there to see.
But they were in different rooms?
Yeah, they're right next to each other, right?
Oh, I see.
And then, Robert went in and stabbed him, and they went in and, stabbed Christopher. That's when I stabbed Christopher.
So when he stabbed Daniel, where did he stab Daniel?
I think he, shanked him in the neck, and then Daniel ran off, and so I went in and started attacking Christopher.
So Daniel got stabbed in the neck and ran off?
Yeah.
Where did you run to?
He ran into the family room about Mom. Mom ended up, she was laying on the ground yelling, call 911.
Okay. And he stopped in there?
Yeah, he collapsed in there, and then Margot came in and started stabbing him in the chest.
Oh, I see. So Daniel had got stabbed in the neck, ran out to where your mom was.
Yeah.
Robert followed him, stabbed him some more.
Yeah, after we stabbed Christopher in the bathroom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then basically after that, everyone was pretty much dead. We forgot about all.
Who was dead?
Everyone, I think,
Okay.
looked like they were dead, except for she was laying in the TV screaming. Then there was a knock at the door. So we turned around, I grabbed on, put my soft vest and heavy vest on. I was carrying the plates, I put my helmet on. And then we went out the back door of Dad's office, climbed over the fence, went down into the park, and started cutting through the woods.
Okay.
We both collapsed.
So you guys collapsed? Or were you just kind of hiding out?
Yeah, we were just laying in a little ditch thing in the woods, and then we saw the light, and we laid down, and the dog came over.
Did you hear the dog coming?
I heard them coming, I saw them coming, and then they started yelling, put your hands up. I stepped on my head and handcuffed me.
Here's what's getting me is like, it's crazy because you guys work together and make all these plans and, had it all figured out, and then when it happens, you're just kind of standing there not doing anything. And did you decide like, Robert's gonna kill everybody and I'm gonna stand here and do nothing, so I better, did you decide?
Yeah, I think that was my plan. I didn't want to kill anyone, I couldn't do it, so I was going to let him, kill everyone.
Yeah, but you stabbed somebody in the neck.
I just kind of.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not Robert's the one that should get all the credit here.
Yeah.
Because it's a big deal. I mean, you're gonna be on the news. You know what I mean?
I know.
People are gonna wanna interview you, I mean.
I don't want to be interviewed when I'm moving this.
Well, but I'm just thinking,
He does.
now it's several hours later, how are you feeling?
This whole thing, like film when you first start to get caught, I think it only lasted about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was like, cause it's 8 o'clock in the morning now, so it's like 8 hours ago.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now? I mean, just kinda,
I didn't want to do that.
yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
So you were saying you pleaded with, I guess when they were locked in the bathroom and what
Yeah,
other room were they locked in?
The bathroom, and then right next to it is my dad's office. Dan locked himself in his office. And I was like, I said, help, Robert's after me, and they both opened up.
In which room did you go in?
I went into the bathroom, I stabbed Christopher.
Okay, and then what, did Robert go?
Robert went into the office where Daniel was, stabbed him, Daniel ran off, and they came into the bathroom and started stabbing Christopher. I left.
Okay.
So, I guess where I'm kinda confused is if you didn't want this anymore, you didn't want this to go down this way, why con them into opening the doors and letting this continue?
I was trying to help Robert.
So here's a problem that we might have, and I don't want it to be an issue for you, cause you've been really cooperative. We're gonna talk to Robert too, so he's gonna give us his version of the story, and, sometimes they're gonna be different, so, is there anything that you kinda didn't quite tell me right, or you changed a little bit, and now that you understand that Robert's gonna tell me everything?
He'll probably tell you that he'll forgive them, because that's what I told him, when we were sitting out in the woods, to make conversation. But, forensics will show you how they stabbed Christopher.
Tell me, I know that you're leaving something out, cause it's like she said, this isn't like you stole a bicycle, this is the most you can do, so it's a big deal, but a lot of people, when they talk and think about this thing, your honesty is a big deal, and how you handle yourself from here on out. And if you come off, cause to me, you don't seem like a bad guy, you don't scare me, I never thought you would've done this, so you just seem like a normal kid to me, and you seem like an honest kid. But see, I talk to people all the time, and I know when people are lying, or when I'm not quite getting the whole story, and so I just wanna catch you before you get in that bad spot where people start saying you're a bad guy, you're evil, you're a liar. So just tell me what I'm missing.
Along with the Duke thing, I was going around to convincing the people who were still alive that I was on their side. I called the police, so they would stay and Robert would get them.
So they kind of stay on the ground, and he'd be able to come stab him again.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to go get Robert to let him know someone was still making too much noise or anything?
No, it was chaotic. He was just going from person to person.
Did you guys talk about being on the news and getting to see each other on TV and stuff?
Yeah.
What kind of things did you say and talk about?
Mostly about how we were planning on killing more people.
Yeah.
Talk. And we would become famous. We'd get on Wikipedia lists.
Oh, okay.
People.
That'd be a big deal, yeah. Do you think they might even make a movie or something, or a TV show?
I don't know about a movie or TV show, but.
Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, definitely documentaries and stuff.
I was right. The guys that are interviewing Robert, kind of gave me a quick version of what he's saying that you did,
Yeah.
and you haven't told me everything, okay? So I know you're not being completely honest, and I gave you one shot already.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you might have said. I mean,
Well, you stabbed more than one person. So who else did you stab? Or you stabbed more than just one time?
Oh, I stabbed Christopher more than one time.
How many times did you stab him?
I think twice.
Because you don't think we're gonna know that?
Stop
I
thinking
know.
and go with what you know.
You mentioned forensics a minute ago.
I know.
I mean, I'm just one of like hundreds of people that are gonna look at this thing, okay? I mean, we got the state police coming in. There's, I don't know, 20 different forensic detectives at your house right now.
They're gonna be there a long time because of the scene that it is.
So everybody that you killed and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're gonna know about. And this is your last chance to just kind of let us know, to be honest, to man up and tell us exactly what you did and start making it right.
I hit Christopher. I did not stab Victoria with Daniel.
You did not stab Victoria.
I think I had to stab Mom.
You stabbed him off.
When she was walking away, I think I had to go for a neck, but, you know,
Is that when you cut yourself then?
yeah, I think after that.
Where did you stab her?
I think I had to go from behind and hold back.
How do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like it the minute it started.
I mean, how do you feel about your mother? You watched her get stabbed, you cut her throat yourself, and you watched her bleed all over the place and scream. How does that make you feel?
No, I don't think about it.
You don't want to think about it? And Christopher, your little brother, I mean, you stabbed him in the neck. What has he ever done to you? So he's just a number.
Yes.
And how do you feel about that now?
Pointless.
It's what?
Pointless.
Pointless.
The boys stabbed their mother over 40 times. The father was stabbed over 50 times. Their 13-year-old sister 7 times. Their 12-year-old brother 9 times. Their 7-year-old brother 6 times. And their 5-year-old sister 18 times. Despite how quickly and mercilessly the boys killed, there were 2 survivors. The first family member the boys attacked, Crystal Bever, lived. Although her brothers cut her throat, she managed to run outside where she passed out on the front lawn. Her brothers assumed that she was dead and dragged her back inside so they could dismember her along with the rest of the family. She played dead until she heard officers break down the door, and she called for help. They immediately performed first aid and managed to save her life. She was estimated to have lost over 45% of her total blood volume at the time of the rescue. The other survivor was the youngest 2-year-old sister. According to successive testimony, the boys intended to cut off the toddler's head with an axe, but they didn't have time before they had to flee. She was completely unharmed and stayed safe in a room upstairs. Reports stated that Robert also confessed during his interrogation, with his version of the events coordinating accurately with his brothers. He allegedly laughed, smiled, and grew excited when he detailed their atrocities. He tried to hang himself a week later with a sheet while in jail, but a guard caught him in the act and cut him down. He was placed under suicide watch, where he remained for 15 months before his day in court. He pleaded guilty to 5 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. He was rendered a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole in September 2016. He is now serving his time at the Oklahoma Maximum Security State Penitentiary. Michael pleaded not guilty to the same charges. As he was 16 at the time of the killings, there was some debate over how he should be tried. The courts eventually decided to try him as an adult, and the defense immediately argued insanity. Michael saw numerous mental health professionals over the course of 3 years, and he was eventually deemed fit to stand trial. In May 2018, the jury found him guilty on all charges and recommended a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 33 years. He now resides at the High Max Unit of the North Fork Correctional Facility. The horrifying murder spree left many people asking a simple question: why? Reports emerged that the parents isolated the children. None of the kids had ever been to school, and they were rarely allowed to leave the house. They didn't have any outside friends, and only had each other to play with. The oldest survivor, Crystal, testified along with Robert and Michael that their parents were physically and emotionally abusive. In March 2017, the Bever family home caught fire in the middle of the night and burnt to the ground. It was already engulfed in flames by the time firefighters arrived. Police couldn't determine what caused the fire, as CCTV showed no activity at the time of the incident.